What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Karu.
And this is a very anticipated episode of The Wheel of Time.
Hell yeah.
Season 3, Episode 5. Sorry we're late. We were in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And we were busy. And we, the road reactions are fun sometimes.
But sometimes they're just a pain in the ass.
Here's the thing. When they're like 40 minutes, it's fine. This episode's an hour and 9 minutes long, so we're going to wait till we're in our chairs.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're back. We're going to watch Teleran Riyadh. Teleran Riyadh. Tell Rand about my rod.
Okay, I will.
That's what. Tell Rand about my rod.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to dive in. If you want that flowing through action, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't, that's fine. Do it, go to the dream world.
Sure.
Spoiler alert. I don't think the show's told them what the show is, but you should have watched the episode before. I'm assuming the episode is going to tell you that this is the dream world.
Yeah,
and so,
I don't think anyone who
if you're only watching our reactions,
on this video without having seen the episode yet.
Sorry for the spoiler, I guess.
We're really good at our jobs.
Through anyone and you'll see your future laid before you again and again in variation.
I do love that Lanfear has the one power and just loves to stab Moiraine.
Yeah. Some people are haters, babe.
Oh, I know. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. Jeez.
I wonder if they're trying to set up that this Arcanon has to be wielded by a linked circle.
No, I just think it's going to be
That's established in the show already that exists, so I don't...
They link up, yeah.
Yeah.
Leandrin says it.
Because they link in the tower fight.
Yeah. I honestly just am like... It's just going to have to be someone powerful enough to wield it, probably?
Yeah.
First step of your training in what it means to be wise.
He is the Karakar.
She's like, oh my god, my hell.
She just wants her spears.
Yeah.
That's Cold Rock's hold, seat of the Tarda.
Let's go.
Till the other chiefs have gathered at Altair Dal.
We'll show up last.
We are doing Cold Rock's Hold. Okay.
Yeah. In the books it comes after. That was just me fucking up the timeline.
No. It's one of those things where it is such like these sets and stuff are so large that I was like, yeah, they might have to cut stuff for budget, right? But, yeah, damn.
You've met my wife, Bear. Now, meet my wife, Leon.
Great father!
Damn, that girl's hair is red.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking Aiel.
Are you the Karakar? Great mother says you are.
Well, there goes the leader of our nation. The design for Cold Rock's Hold isn't what I expected.
No, but kind of dig the interpretation.
A heavy fragrance, your powdered roses. It enters the room before you do.
Where is Elaine? Her brothers are missing her.
She's on a journey of my choosing, well protected.
I sent the man who whooped their asses with her, so.
People don't change. Mother, you have fooled many, but I know what you are.
A lesbian.
Thank you for your time.
God.
Even she knows she's losing.
Yeah.
Bring me the truth, so I can take Elida's head.
She's gonna be so focused on thinking Elida's Black Aja.
Yeah, she's not gonna see the...
She's gonna miss everything else.
Forest for the trees.
Have you tried the bread?
Wow.
He's so hot, but he can't bake.
Wetlanders do not share lovers. That is a lot to ask of one person. Perhaps too much.
Not with a head. It's going to bite your throat the whole way down.
Delicious.
Moray and Sajai, would you like one? I'm finished, thanks. No, you stay.
God, the sexual dynamics of this campfire are crazy.
Crazy. Just all over the place. Whew.
To do so is to take a risk. Death in the dream world means death here too.
Except in season 1, but we won't worry about that.
When the brass pin drops, you will hear it in the dream as well. It will bring you back if you lose yourself.
Cool.
Love that.
Damn.
How did this? You were afraid, so you wanted armor.
It's not the armor I would have. I mean,
It's kind of video game armor.
yeah, like your heart's completely exposed. But
That's an incredible effect, though. That looks really good.
Yeah, it looks great. And the fit was fire. So.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Even when Egwene's scared, she has a sense of style.
People stumble from their own dreams into Tel'aran'rhiod for a moment.
And Wetlanders wonder why so many people die in their sleep.
That was a weird smile. Wetlanders wonder.
Those stupid fucks.
If you want to be somewhere else, simply believe you are somewhere else. It is as simple as that.
Nice.
Yeah, great effect.
Nice. I was wondering how they were going to visually represent this.
Bear?
No.
I believed I could.
She's too eager. She takes too much, too fast.
Who are the Shadow Salt?
Wetlanders. Call them the Forsaken.
She's like, I know them. Fuck.
Yeah, oopsie.
Not again. They won't leave me alone.
What if I could show you that ever since she first took the seat, she's been working to destroy this tower from within?
It's a very public hallway.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Varian Sedai said.
Away. Now, or I'll strip your hide with my birch. Accepted or no?
She feels the most like the book I said I have anyone.
Did she take the bait? Thank you.
That's...
In her state.
My sister can do anything.
Damn.
That's ice fucking cold.
Thing that interests her clever mind.
Damn, this is like messed up.
And what did she want us to look at?
Black Asha. Black Asha.
Damn. That scene was fucking banging. That was so
Wow.
damn good.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
So Swan has literally managed to keep secret that there were that the Black Aja thing happened. That's insane.
Only thing we promised the sail mistress in exchange for passage to Tanchico.
That's only because she didn't want Nynaeve to throw herself overboard.
Is that an option?
Wait, are they with the sea folk?
Yeah, she just said so.
Oh, this is how they're getting around the nudity. Is that they're not gonna leave.
Wow.
Oh, he's got great eyes.
Is that you? Have you got a room on here? Can I stay with you instead of them?
No.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
The reinforcement.
That was a jump.
Yeah. I was literally laughing about the mint. Oh my god.
If you'd let me. No.
Good man. In so much as he can be one, you know?
Okay, he's had a tough time.
I respect him drawing the line of torture, though. You know what I mean? Like...
They say he's come back home.
Oh, shit.
Where?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh!
Alana? I'm like, who the fuck can channel?
One of you is a witch!
It was me.
Oh.
No, I think it was one of the girls.
No.
This one's ready for your questions.
Well, I take back what I said.
Not yet.
And me.
Well, alright then. Take it back.
And her.
I have been told stealth is not my strongest suit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to throw your life away like you threw away Ivan's, do it. But I won't stand here and watch again.
Threw away. The dude. Wow.
Poetry. Dancing. Those long nights after the dancing.
How old is she? Whatever. Her skincare is amazing.
Yeah. Apparently the desert is real gentle on your complexion. Because they're implying that she's like 10 to 15 years older than him at minimum.
Significantly.
Yeah.
You were a baby. Let me tell you about the dances I went to. Like,
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The wise ones want me to sleep with them. To keep working together.
Hot.
What the fuck are you doing? Just come say hi.
Okay.
Damn.
Say something.
For the love of God, Lan.
Saio. Usquai.
I have not.
Well, you are in for a treat.
It's like you and I every time we drink together.
Well, every time I drink your drink.
Now I want to try it.
Yeah, right?
See if I'd react. I loved that scene. That was incredible.
Yeah.
So, I can only assume that you're following me because you're obsessed with me. Then what's this? What is this?
Oh, God.
It's not much better here. I share a wall with you three. You best believe these walls are thin.
But are they as thin as the walls between his room and Galad and Gowan's?
Probably.
I like the idea that they don't know where Matt went.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of fine with it. Damn, that's fucking cool.
It can't be controlled. It flows, whether you want it to or not.
The Sea Folk are giving us the closest thing to the book powers we've got on the show.
Yeah.
I need you to promise me you won't tell your tower about our wind fighters.
I promise.
Now go pack your belongings. We'll be in Tenchiko soon.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I fucking hate the Sea Folk.
In
I
the
think
book.
they're so pointless.
Yeah.
And I really like that woman.
I know.
You're the seer who told Rand he was the dragon.
I mean, she also told me that I kill Rand, so I guess in a way you're not good at any of your jobs.
To be fair, she said you stab Rand.
Yeah.
I know you're looking for the Black Archer. And I happen to have some personal experience with Neandrin's die.
Yeah.
All right. Always so welcoming, Nynaeve. You're really just so warm.
I'm not joking when I say this place is dangerous.
Oh boy.
Right, I'll be on my best behaviour.
Come on.
Maybe that's what her vision was of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that guy? He kind of looks like Matt.
Sure.
I believe you.
What the fuck?
All you will see is pain until it's...
Wow.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck? Ooh!
Well done, Leanne.
Yeah.
There must still be a member of the Black Archer in the tower.
And guess who it's not?
I don't know. She just walked in and murdered that girl.
Yeah, but they are Black Aja, so she technically can hurt them.
Yeah.
You led me here.
Perhaps I misjudged you, sister.
Jeez.
I don't know what they're doing in the White Tower right now. They're making it real messy.
Yeah. Sawan is bad at her job. That's her
I know.
character.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Remember what you guys did at Falm? Right back at you.
Want to learn how to catch a woman with real power, child buyer.
Oh.
Okay, go with them. They'll keep you safe. I'll get your mom.
I'm stressed out. The cinematography of this is fantastic, though.
Yeah.
This looks really good.
Yeah.
Is that Matt's mom? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, just in case you were like, you know, well, iffy on the white cloaks. Are they good? Are they bad? We've made it very clear. Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's terrible. Oh. Fael! Oh, God! Okay.
Yeah. He was just holding his sword.
Oh my God.
I have you. I have you now.
Jesus Christ. The shot of Perrin and Dane fighting and then them being on the ground was such a janky cut.
There was some weirdness.
They've got to stop stabbing people on the show. It's getting preposterous how many times people are being stabbed and surviving.
See, Those cuts make sense.
Yeah.
Because they're in Teleran, yeah. Not the real world.
No, 100%.
Pattern is woven, Rand. Who do you think weaves it, if not us?
I like that line.
Is that who you want me to be? Some docile innkeeper?
You weren't docile.
I'm not usually an age gap romance girly,
Mhm.
but I want them to be together.
They just have great chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you travel with me in the dream to meet someone?
I don't know. I might be able to.
There's a message I need to deliver.
Oh.
It's funny, don't you think? You warning me about the dangers of dreams. I remember years ago when I did the same to you.
Is she about to walk in on Rand fucking Lanfear?
Well, no, because why would Moraine know what fucking mountaintop they're on?
No, she's just gonna be like, I'm gonna find Rand.
I don't think it works that way.
And it's worth the risk, yes. Yes.
What could this be? It has to be... I don't know. Damn, Egwene's a quick study.
This is your dream. It's safer here, I think.
Great. That's comforting.
Yeah, they're literally gonna go to Lanfear.
Remember, the ding of the brass pin will wake you.
Oh, Swan's dream. Okay. Yeah, it definitely works very differently.
Yeah.
I've come to you this way because I have no time.
Where are you?
Oh, no.
Should have been you in the tower. You're strong, clever, ruthless. You wouldn't lose yourself to the seat.
I make enemies too easily.
Yeah. That's true.
I never would have won the seat in the first place. And I will wait for you. Every time. I love you.
That was very well done.
Nynaeve, are you here?
Wait, she's just popping into people's dreams? What could go wrong?
Now listen.
Oh, Nynaeve! Is that a young Egwene or is that the daughter from the
That's
Vision?
her daughter.
Yeah. Okay. I was right. Oh! Egwene, you're kind of being a little creeper right now. The weird, like, smile.
Yeah, this is what I mean. She's gonna go find Rand, and he's
Oh.
gonna be literally
1000%.
thrust into Lanfear.
1000%.
Jesus Christ.
I'm proud of you.
That's what he dreams about. Oh. That's... She's like, oh, damn, okay.
Wait, but that implies that this is Rand's dream. Okay, yeah. What the fuck? Okay.
Well, damn.
Yeah. Well, damn indeed. I could talk about this episode for like
a
3
year.
hours.
I know. Yeah.
'Cause there's-
wow.
There is so much great stuff in it, and there's so much not great stuff in it. And I think it leans heavier on the good stuff.
Yes. I will
I think
say.
in terms of the pie of this episode, more slices are good than bad.
Yeah. And I think for me, more so than you, based on our reaction, I think for me, there's only one piece that's, like, bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fights.
The fights are bad in this episode.
That was so rough.
I think that...
I thought we were getting better.
I think they spent a lot of time on the last couple episodes, because episodes 3 and 4 are so good, but all of the physical movement in this episode was not good.
It was really rough. And
the cinematography wasn't as good as previous episodes, which I think is either they were filming these things and the main squad was on Ruidian.
Yeah.
Or they just spent days and days and days on Ruidian, and the team came and did this. And this episode felt rushed in compared to the rest of the season so far.
A little bit. Like, rushed in terms of production, not in terms of pacing.
A bit of both, to me, honestly.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
There's concepts in this that are from multiple books.
Yeah.
That are kind of distilled down to exposition in order to kind of, like, move through them very fast. I thought the Sea Folk stuff was very fast. And simplified down to, like, 5 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, but
That's why I said I can't be here. Do you promise you won't tell the White Tower? Yes? Okay, we're done with that.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened.
It is a more complicated relationship between the seriousness with which the Sea Folk handle their business is just it leads to sort of drawn out dialogues that this show is like, we're cutting that. They're not that complicated to people. We're gonna simplify them down to they're basically just pirates. But because we don't have much space.
We barely got to know them, so I don't really think it's been simplified. I just don't think it was explored.
I just think that scene was very like, I need you to promise not to tell the White Tower about this, and they're like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It wasn't much weight on it.
It was pretty easy. It was pretty easy, but so much of the emotional stuff in this episode was really hard hitting.
Mm-hmm. And a payoff, like the Moraine Swan thing. I did genuinely pay off in this for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's always been my favorite thing that they've expanded.
Yeah.
At times it is, at times it isn't. But I do genuinely feel like they made the time they've spent on that relationship valuable to the show with the payoff of it in this episode. Because I don't know that they'll... Well, I don't know what, like, that relationship looks like on the show moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think that they did a really good job making the time they spent on that worthwhile.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure.
There's so much book spoiler shit I want to talk.
I know. I really loved the moments in the beginning, specifically with Rand and his, like, just a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
Like,
and him specifically being so kind to kids.
Yeah, like, I was not expecting that. I thought it was beautiful, and I thought it was a really simple way to explore that. Because that's just something that, like, we understand. Like, we as human beings, right? We understand that the like, what it is to talk with a child, what it is to, like, play with them and, like, leave life for a moment to the side to just indulge in, like, whatever they're saying or doing, right? He goes off and plays.
No, I agree.
He really, like, interacts with this girl, and I thought that that was clever, just to give Rand those moments, because his arc is so heavy, right? He doesn't get to laugh very often, so
yeah, I agree with that. I'm really struggling with this episode right now in the immediate aftermath because it's called Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah.
And I think that they visually got Tel'aran'rhiod pretty right. Like, I could feel in the cinematography when we were there. Yeah. And I thought that was very successful.
Yeah, I like the effects. I think the effects this episode were actually, like, pretty strong in terms of the One Power and Tel'aran'rhiod.
Oh, the One Power, especially, like, I'm not sure I totally understand the opening scene with Moraine yet, but I liked it a lot.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah, it was very metaphorical.
Yeah.
it was probably a lot of, you know what, like, if I'm really thinking about it now, it's probably a lot about her grief around this, like, acknowledgement that she's not going to be there for the last battle.
Right.
Right, and I really liked my favorite scene in the whole episode is her and Lan at the fire. And information that the audience doesn't have at this point, is that spoilers? Kind of, but the Moraine revealing that there's 1,000 futures.
Yeah.
And in ones where I live, he dies, and ones where I die, he lives. Like, revealing that information here to Lan, I actually really loved.
Yes.
And her sharing with Lan in that. I mean, we'll talk about it in book spoilers, some things about that in book spoilers in a second, but for non-spoilers, I love the way they handled that scene. It was my favorite scene in this episode by far.
Me too. I wish their relationship had been more like that. It was one of the off-putting things about me in season 2, because I think when they are this way, it is so much stronger. I think it serves the narrative better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it is like 10 times out of 10, I will pick this version of them.
Yeah, I like the scene with Melindra. I feel weird about the scene with Lan and Melindra, because I do...
I'm like, damn, girl, what are you putting on your face?
65?
Maybe. Because, like, the actor who plays Lan is, like, 40-something. And Lan,
Malkier
the character...
fell 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So that means...
So
she's
got to be in his 40s.
So she's got to be at least in her... Yeah, and she could be in her 50s.
60,
She just
like,
looks fucking... If she's 52,
she's glowing.
she looks incredible.
She is... glowing.
How old? Wait, I want to...
Ma'am.
The actress might just be, like, 52, and I'm being ridiculous.
And maybe she is, but, like, actually get me her fucking phone number. Get me her dermatologist. I need all of the information. Like, what the fuck? I was...
No, not my... No.
Mel...
I know.
Oh,
it auto-corrected to...
Oh, that is fair. Autocorrect is not kind to fantasy names in the slightest. But yeah, no, that was...
I don't even know how to write her name. Sinove McCody Lund.
Yeah.
It just has it has the O with the... There it is.
The line through it?
She's 48.
I don't know, man. Wow.
And he's 45. This is the weird thing, though. They're like 3 years apart, and they look of an age. And she's like, "You were a baby," and I was like, "Oh,
what?
How old are you?"
Yeah.
You live in the desert.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. But it is
No,
one of those
it
things where
doesn't.
I'm like, "Damn, girl."
Just make me think about it. No, there's
how you do that?
There's so much. There's this show right now for me is working and not working within certain plot lines, and like I think the Rand and Egwene stuff mostly works for me. I don't like their version of Teleran Riyadh, but it works.
What do you mean the version where
I don't like the way that they explained it in this episode, and I don't really understand what happened or what she's capable of based on this.
It is also, there are changes made. So I think that it is a little bit confusing right now because I'm like...
But also, who can see who in Teleran Riyadh is not clear based on what this was.
What do you mean who? Oh. No, I think it was made pretty clear. The only
How was it clear?
The only person who saw Egwene was Lanfear.
Okay, but when they're in Swan's dream, Moraine can see Egwene.
Moraine can see Egwene. Okay, yeah. Because they wake up together. Because Egwene takes Moraine into Teleran Riyadh. And so therefore Moraine is able to go interact with Swan's dream, I guess.
And this is where I get...
But then I guess Egwene can't interact with anyone else's dream.
Or she's choosing not to.
Or she chooses not to.
Which is... I understand the thing from the book they pulled for that. And this isn't a spoiler for the books. I understand what they pulled for that. I don't think this episode explained what was going on well enough for this episode, for my taste.
No, I think
it was a little willy-nilly on what the rules of Teleran Riyadh were, which I think is a little bit risky in setting up Tel'aran'rhiod.
I think it's a little bit risky. I think that they do need to clarify it in the next episode or two.
Yeah.
Like within this season, like we gotta establish those things. Because and that's the thing is I'm like, okay, they didn't do that this episode, but I do believe that there is still room for that, especially because Egwene is learning, and we as the audience are learning with her, and so she is now going to go back to her teachers, who are then going to give her shit, right? Like there is going to be a learning process that we as the audience are involved in. So I do believe that like that will be clarified.
Sure, it felt a little bit like she was capable enough that she understood what was going on in a way that I didn't.
Which I totally understand those feelings.
Because they're changing it a little bit, but not completely.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of going, I'm not really sure what this place is in this version.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I like the visuals of Tel'aran'rhiod. I wish the storytelling in it was a little bit stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
I really liked a lot of the Perrin and Fael and Bane and Chad half this episode. That storyline is rough on the Alana side for me, though. Partially because...
Yeah, you didn't like that scene.
For a number of reasons. It felt very like, we're gonna fight about something. And I get that those characters have like this emotional thing going on, but Alana's reasoning for being in the Two Rivers, being that she wants to raise an army, felt like a really weak reason for her to run there immediately after Yvonne died.
Oh, really? That was I think the thing that sold the scene for me, because I think that
then that's the line between us, is that I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah, I see her taking this like horrific emotional loss and trying to fill that void with a thing that she thinks she can do better than anyone, right? She's like, I've made the connection. All of these incredibly powerful people have come from here, and I've made it my life's work to do this thing in the same way that Moraine has, right? And so she is like almost hyperfixating and has to fill the void of Ivan's death with something else to do. And so she's picked this thing. She's like, I believe that these people are going to like be the be all and end all. She's got the tunnel vision on right now. She can't see the full picture right now. She's gotten it into her head that all these people came from here. There must be something about this place. There must be something I can do. No one else has made this connection. No one else is here. I have to be here. I have to do this because I can't keep going without doing something.
I understand what you're saying, and I don't think you're wrong. And I think that's what the show's going for.
Yeah. It's just,
I don't know why that's a secret.
A secret from
her warders. I don't like, nothing about that feels like it's something to hold back.
No, I just think that her and her warder, like, I think that they set up in the previous episodes that they're just like really not on the same page and communicating right now, which is both of their faults. They both had this loss and are kind of being weirdly petty within their relationship, which I don't love. Like that, I'm kind of like,
and that's the part of it that I didn't love.
Yeah.
It then led into that, and that's it. I understand that she wants to be here to build the army. I can kind of rationalize that.
It's more, why is she keeping him out?
And that just feels like her being like, we came here to do the thing that I've been telling you our whole relationship I want to do with my life. And him being like, well, I thought that you wanted to have threesomes. And
no. She's like, I realized we weren't ready. They were having a good, like, they were on the same page before, having a grand old time. And then she lost something dear to her, and it was like, oh, like, we died because we weren't ready, we weren't taking this seriously. But her sharing that, sharing that with him is kind of
for me,
weird.
I think this comes back down to the first episode being one day. I think it's weirdly a symptom of me feeling like she was shunted here for the plot.
Yeah.
And they're trying, the retroactive explanation for why she's here just isn't vibing for me.
There are so many things in the past several episodes
that feel weird because episode 1 was one day.
Because of that one choice. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why they made it. And why they quantified it into a day. They could have left it open-ended, and I would have filled it. I would have filled in the gaps with my own mind. Oh, I feel like it's gotta have been a few days, a week, or whatever it is. Like whatever I, as the audience, needed to justify the events that are happening, I would have filled in those blanks if they did not set those goalposts. Because now I'm like, a day?
Because it implies, here's the thing, if the Perrin didn't leave the next day from that first day, we know Perrin leaves the next day, which means that Alana left like hours after Yvonne died, which just feels weird to me. Like, Yvonne dying and her immediate response being, we're going to the Waygate, we're going to the Two Rivers. In order for her to have beaten Perrin there, she had to fucking book it out of town immediately.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
that's what feels weird about her being like, I decided within like an hour that this was my new goal.
You could have left it nebulous. Because
100% could have. 100%.
I could buy that. I could buy that Alana loses her warder and within the next 24 hours goes, I need a thing, I need a goal, I'm gonna die if 100%. I don't have this drive. Yeah, within 1 hour seems like, a lot.
And like she had the rest of the day, but like it's just the jump to I don't know. We've talked about it enough.
No, but I totally and now I understand why that scene didn't work for you, because I see where the connections is like. I get it.
We're spending so much time on this character and this relationship, and I just don't really get it. Like, I just don't. I don't vibe with it. It feels like a lot of time on them just being mopey in a way that doesn't.
Bit like the Lan and Moraine stuff from season.
And it feels like 100%. It feels like repetition.
Yes, which I'm like, we kind of already did something similar to this. Like, I'm okay if we don't.
But it leads into the White Cloak fight, which I just don't think was very good. Just kind of across the board.
I don't even know if we need to talk about
impressed me with it.
Fael was
I thought Fael was
the best
pretty
part.
great.
Fael was the best part of that fight. Everything else, I'm sorry, was like really jarring, rough to watch. Did not like it, and that's all I'm gonna say.
But the thing I want to bring up is Alana has been pierced by 8 arrows.
1, 2, 3, 5, I believe.
Well, no, he says you turned off the bond after the 5th arrow, implying there's more than 5, right?
Well,
and then he gets shot with arrow, and then he gets stabbed. Perrin gets stabbed. Like, there is a point where you actually become a comedy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a point where the physical violence becomes funny. Yes. No, but actually, though.
I know.
There is a point where it becomes Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
If every time... And look, I understand that Aleda survived getting stabbed 7 times because she got healed almost immediately. And the Grey Men are garbage at their jobs. Like, the Grey Men are so bad at assassinating people in the show. They're miserable at it. They cannot hit a vital anything. Nynaeve was stabbed 11 times.
They probably were hit vitally, but they were just healed immediately.
I mean, Nynaeve wasn't healed that immediately, but my only point is that in this episode, there's so many stabbings.
Yeah.
And Dane isn't gonna die here, right? But he was stabbed. Like, there's gotta be a point where running steel into a person's body has consequences, or else I just feel like they've stabbed people a few too many times this season. And here's the thing. I think 3 stab wounds is as effective as 5. I think 2 arrows in Alana is as effective visually as 8. 8, when she's standing there looking like a pincushion, comes across a little bit silly to me. 2 or 3 arrows, I would be like, oh yeah, that's awful, and she survives. And I think that this show is just stabbing people, penetrating people too much. There's too much penetration. And I just wish that I don't know. There's a physical relationship with violence on this show that I wish, because Matt's mom being burned alive, genuinely awful, right? And so effectively done. And I wish the show had more of a, like, that kind of a relation with violence more consistently. So that all of the violence felt more horrifying.
Yes.
As opposed to me being like,
more...
and another one, and another one,
yeah.
which is kind of what it gets into sometimes for me.
The more you do it, the less impactful it is.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the same thing with, like, blood sometimes. If there's way too much blood, that's not as impactful. Like you said, it's a little Looney Tunes. And so, no, I agree. Unfortunately, the fight stuff in there I thought was a little bit rough. Like, I was gonna say not my favorite, but I'm like, I think that's being a little soft. If I'm really communicating how I feel, I did not like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was an isolated part of an episode that had so much stuff that was really drawing me in, and so I'm like.
Before we go book spoilers, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Aleda murders a woman in shackles.
Sure does.
I get that they want her to be cruel, but, like, what an insane move. She goes there thinking she's gonna find Varen, doesn't find Varen, and
what?
then...
No, she doesn't think she's gonna find...
Yes, she does.
No! Her... Adela...
She's like, where is she always going?
Yeah, where's she always going? And so she's like, oh, she's always going down here. It's not
so
that she's gonna be there right now.
Go kill the prisoner? Does she think there's gonna be no consequences for that?
Oh no.
Okay, but there should be. But there should be.
But
like,
it's the White Tower.
I know, but it is preposterous to me
ever has
that
consequences.
Aleda goes behind Swan. But Swan has the easiest out in the world now. Aleda killed a woman in prison without anyone's permission.
But then Swan has to admit that she has Black Aja as prisoners.
But all of the sitters know that. They watched them. They were in the fight where they got captured.
Look, every single sitter either died or was Black Aja. That's all.
No, they didn't. Only one woman died.
That is the only way that this works for me.
But this is the White Tower stuff doesn't work for me. I love. Yes. Here's what's so fucked up about the Aleda scene.
I like the scenes. I like the moments. But the actual like structure of that plot is really hard for me to grasp because of that opening scene and how it was portrayed. And it literally was like every sitter either died or was Black Aja, and nobody's asking why all these people died.
Well, and Aleda puts her hand over Delius's mouth as if she's never heard the words Black Aja in the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, really? Like,
yeah, because apparently nobody knows. Apparently nobody is talking about it.
I want to compliment the Aleda scene. Because I don't want it to sound like I'm just criticizing it. I think the scene is so good.
The scene was written,
seems,
like the dialogue was. It was well acted.
In the logic of the outside of the scene world, it seems crazy to me that she would kill that woman with no leave. Like from the Amerlin seat to do it. Like it
she
seems.
Hates Swan.
I know,
and she knows that Swan
but it's a
is
level
trying to
of
keep
ammunition that you're giving to your political opponent that you killed a woman in shackles.
No, she knows that Swan can't say shit because then Swan has to admit that these people are there. They've kind of got each other at a stalemate.
But that is assuming that people don't know they're there, which just feels insane to me.
Aleda's been there for a while. If people knew about it, Aleda would have found out by now. So it stands to reason that not a single person in the White Tower knows that the sitters were attacked and there were Black Aja.
That just doesn't work for me. It just and it makes scenes like this weird because I can't fit them logically into the world the show is building for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I struggle with it.
I think that there are certain shows where that kind of logic you can hand wave away, but those shows are not the Wheel of Time. Those shows are not shows with this kind of vibe and this what's the word that I am looking for? It's not levity. The opposite. The opposite of levity.
The serious tone of the show?
Like the stakes are so high. It's incredibly emotional. Like, like that kind of don't worry about it hand waviness can work in a comedy that I'm just there to have a good time with. I do not think that it works for this show and with how they are doing it.
Last thing before we go to book spoilers, Matt, all the boat stuff was very funny. I know I said that it was rushed. I felt it was rushed, but it was very good. Yeah. I like the Seafolk. I like this version of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good.
thought that
I
was well
like the
handled.
design of the boat. Again, the one power looks great.
The prow having the prow being seemingly built for wind finding
Yeah.
was smart. I like the design a lot.
Yes. I agree with that. I liked the Min and Matt scene.
Yeah.
Like that we had a little bit of. Like that was great.
There's good stuff in here.
For sure.
Honestly, all the scenes are good. Again, it is the like
It all comes
connective
back to
stuff is
episode
weird.
1.
I know.
It's so weird. It is so strange to me that like almost all of my criticisms, except fight stuff, have to do with that opening scene. Because when we watched it,
I agree.
We knew it might be problematic, and now here we are being like, man. So
it's because there's reasonable consequences of the way they made it that feel like they should exist in the world that don't.
They don't, yeah.
And yeah, it's weirdly perpetuated. Anyway, like the video, don't like the video, whatever, dislike it, do what you want to do. We're gonna talk book spoilers now.
Yeah.
First thing, really excited. When spoilers, is that enough spoiler? There's something I hated in the books that they changed.
Yeah.
And I love that they changed it because I fucking
on the boat.
Hate no with the Aiel.
The dinner.
When they're eating in the book, it explains that the way that the Aiel eat is that they lie on their stomachs and face in and like eat. And I was like, that is insane.
You're like, I hate that.
That sounds like the worst. That sounds like the least comfortable way to swallow repeatedly a whole meal. And that they have like cushions and they lie in a circle and that they like lie on their stomachs to eat. And I remember in book club being like, no, that's insanity. That sounds awful. And so the fact that they were like, no, they sit.
No, we don't.
They sit on cushions, but they sit like completely like
like
with
normal humans.
But Cold Rock's Hold,
it was a little underwhelming, but
it looked so much like the set for the Hobbit, not the Hobbit, but the Harfoot village from season 2 of Rings of Power. No, not in that it's the same set, but fantasy villages love to do this. It is a entrance between a bunch of rocks. Monster Hunter Wilds does the exact same thing. When you meet this like indigenous village, you enter and then it is a Y shape that that circles around, and in the center of the Y there's a like some sort of freestanding structure, and it's the same shape as the Rings of Power city and Monster Hunter Wilds, and so that was on my mind.
All right.
But I was missing the cold rocks part of it. I was missing the shade that creates the vegetables, and like how the Cold Rocks Hold is where they live because it allows for them to grow their food.
Yeah.
And like all of the elements of it being where they live because it is the place in the desert where the land provides for them.
Yeah.
And that's why they defend it so fiercely.
Yeah.
That felt missing to me. It just kind of felt like it was an outcropping of rock.
Yeah, it was just a place that they had made their home.
Yeah.
And I think, this episode was already an hour and 10 minutes, so I think that they were kind of like, we're going to do as much as we can do. I think it was, like I said, I think it was a little bit underwhelming, but I liked the design. I thought it looked cool. I thought, like, they made some interesting choices, but they didn't spend too much time on any of that. And we probably won't spend too much time at Cold Rock's Hole anyways, so they were like, we'll really put all our money in for the Golden Bowl.
Yeah. The sea folk aren't naked. Are you upset about it?
I am upset. I was hoping to see titties.
I was hoping they would do something. They felt a little too, especially because where they land, they felt a little bit too just like they were like the people of Tenchigo.
They had jewelry on, and that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they did enough to differentiate them. Other than, but that's fine, whatever. The sea folk are a lot of people's least favorite thing about the Wheel of Time, so...
And I don't know how prevalent they're gonna be, so I'm like, alright, that's fine.
Dreamwalking is crazy. This version of dreamwalking is nuts. Being able to just go to anybody's dream at any time and not get sucked in, it, is so... There's so much Egwene stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's so much Egwene stuff across the whole show that I'm like, I don't know, like, they have to completely rewrite her story.
I'm really curious to see how, Twitter feels about, Egwene, about Tel'aran'rhiod being changed. Egwene can pop into anybody's dream.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm really curious to see
and
what
Perrin
people
not
think.
seeing her.
Yeah. Although Hopper being there, good touch. Good touch. I think that
I
opens the
know.
door for some stuff.
I feel you.
I wish Hopper
But
had
Hopper
seen
should
her.
have seen.
Yeah.
Yes, that would have been enough. That would have been enough.
Yeah.
It would have been. But both Perrin and Hopper being in the dream and not noticing her, although maybe that's because it's Perrin's dream and not Tel'aran'rhiod. But this is where it's weird, right? The show's distinction of Tel'aran'rhiod and dreaming
Yeah.
was very loose.
A little loosey-goosey, which is why I'm like, okay, I think we're going to get further explanations on it. But I definitely would have loved something.
Yeah.
Some connection there.
Hopper seeing her would have been the fix.
Yeah.
I don't need Perrin 2 yet because he's not quite there yet.
Yes.
But he already has the golden eyes permanently.
Yeah.
So there's just like those elements where I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. No, I would have loved that moment.
Hopper scene is a good call. That would have been enough for me.
Yes. It would have been something to differentiate this moment from the other moments that she's bopping around to, which, again, I'm so curious. I'm going to see how people are feeling about that on Twitter and in our Discord.
It's also the Swan being able to recognize that Moiraine had come to her dreams was really... The ability to be safe in other people's dreams and communicate opens up communication in the show very quickly in a way that I find very interesting.
I am not going to comment on that until I see how much Swan remembers when she wakes up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, the reasoning for that being in the books, they have to meet in Tel'aran'rhiod because if you go to someone else's dream, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah, it's not the same thing at all.
You're
very
giving
different.
up. You're allowing that person to have complete power over you, essentially.
Yeah, they're very different. So I am curious to see how much Swan remembers because I think it would have been weird to have a scene where she's she seems like she's dreaming in the dream. She doesn't feel like she's like all there. I think that would have been very strange. She is dreaming. It's her mind, and so she is going to act how Swan would act. But in waking up, how much of that stuff?
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's I think what really matters in those interactions because the scene was beautiful, and there is something really tragic about Moiraine
getting to say goodbye.
Yeah, and Swan not. Swan not. And I feel like Swan has to remember enough of it.
Yeah.
For it to have meant something, right? Like the tower has to bend the knee. That's very important. But Swan might struggle to remember any of the details. How she felt about it. How Moiraine cried. Like how the moments that make it human. And that's kind of why it got to me because I was like, this is so beautiful.
Yeah. I agree.
And how is Swan going to remember this? And how is Moiraine going to remember this? Right?
I think it was one of the strongest emotional moments of the show so far in 3 seasons.
In the whole show? Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Done.
I don't know how they would convey that Swan doesn't have that memory, but I think that would be an interesting way to handle it.
I think she would have to confide in someone.
Just because Egwene kind of being able to go bop around to people's dreams feels a little quick.
Convenient.
I mean, the show's a little convenient, right? Like the fact that everyone was asleep is kind of a miracle considering they're across time zones, but
well, Ranland might not be that big. They might not have different time zones.
It's not as big. Well, but that is a thing in the book.
Time zones?
Yeah, it's figuring out when people are going to be asleep so that they can meet in the dream.
That isn't not really time zones. It's like, okay, the sun goes down a little bit later.
That's what time zones are. That's what they are.
Yeah, but it's
that's just what time zones are.
But do they have different zones?
Yeah.
Like in Tenshiko, 8 p.m. is this time, but it's 9 p.m. in the White Tower? I don't think that exists.
Yeah, it does.
That's never talked
in the books. No, they do talk about when they are going to have meetings based on
But they're not like Eastern Standard Time we're meeting at 7 p.m.
No. I'm not saying they have literal time zones. I'm saying that time zones exist because we go to bed at different times based on when it is dark.
But then how do you have a time zone if you can't quantify it?
I'm just saying that in the books there are discussions in the books about them meeting based on when people will be asleep in different parts of the world. That is just that they literally like, oh no, they're not going to be asleep yet. It's still bright there or whatever. Whatever the language they use for it is. They don't say the word time zone.
All right, yeah.
If it was a Brandon Sanderson book, they'd say the word time zone. But, this is Robert Jordan.
It would be Mountain
Time. A real writer.
Wow.
I'm kidding. It's just for the book.
Wow. The shade. Yeah, no, yeah.
If Brandon Sanderson had written the entirety of Wheel of Time, Rand would have called his 3 women the hat trick.
Okay. Wow, that's a deep cut. The episode was mostly good. It was not as strong as the others in my eyes.
I still think it's stronger than episode 1. I think 2, 3, 4 are stronger than it. But like that's not the end of the world.
I would put this in episode 1 kind of at the same, because the things that didn't work for me are still the same. It's the same things. But again, there were emotional moments and stuff. There was stuff in episode 1 again that I really did love. So I don't know.
I agree with that. I think it's like episode 1 in this, and then episode 2's kind of in the middle, and then episode 3, and then episode 4 on top.
Yeah, like there's been some fantastic stuff. I have a feeling that after the finale drops, like we'll probably want to do a live stream and really go through things.
Well, we'll be in Japan, but
I know we'll be in Japan, but we can figure that out, right?
I think that this episode struggles a little bit from being the come down of Viridian, and also the fact that the cast next week is going to be great. Because we're going to be in Tenchiko. We're going to... Like, next week is when we're going to be in these places. And this was a little bit of a, like, getting there. With the, like...
Moving the pieces.
The combat in the Two Rivers being fine because they had to save their resources for the actual combat that's coming.
Finale,
Episode 7.
Yeah.
All right. Those are our thoughts. Very excited for the rest of the season. I feel like there was some really good stuff set up here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where they go with that. If you like the video, like, subscribe to the channel, do all those things, hit the dislike button. Who's the algorithm goddess?
Fucking Moraine, man, she's Sag, and I don't blame her for that.
I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye. Guys.